AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
What is up? It's Friday, people. Oh my goodness, we made it to the weekend. I got a good story to tell you about today. I got some crazy stories about Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, his wife, Miley's mother, a whole ton of marijuana, and Willie Nelson. That sounds like the start of a good joke, doesn't it? Welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good friend Johnny Radio and Gabe Kuhn. We're going to rock and fire all day long, all day strong. We got a packed show. We got Gabe with me all day long, all day strong. His brother's at 2:30. Oh, yeah, we get into all kinds of great stuff. We got a little sneak attack planned. Hope he's not listening right now. It's going to be fun. You make sure you want to listen to that. 2 o'clock. My man who likes to pick them games. You like to pick them games. We got some good games that are going on. And I'm pretty fired up because you know him as Paramount Sports, Lee Sterling. And I think it's going to be kind of a fun one because we get to pick Memphis and UCF. How come that is so hard for me to say today? I am so sorry. But UCF, Memphis, they're going down for real. Plus, we're going to pick Houston and BYU, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then in the National Football League, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Make sure at 2 o'clock you're listening for all those games. And then he's going to talk about the game of the week, Tennessee versus Houston this week in the National Football League. All kinds of stuff that's going down for real. It's going to be fun. Whatever you do, don't touch that dial. And in the first hour, we got to get fantasy deep up in this bad boy. There's a lot of fantasy questions for Jim McCormick. I think you should hit me up at 67129 as soon as you can because we have so much to talk about after what happened last weekend. OBJ not practicing again today. He doesn't have COVID. He's sick. I expect him to be out there. We'll talk about that stuff. We got to talk about like Claypool. We got to talk about so many different guys. What's this going to mean for Clyde Edwards-Helaire going forward? Like, do you need him to take action now? What's it going to mean for Le'Veon Bell? We got so many weird things. Like most scrambled touchdowns. Did you know Fitzpatrick has the most
I read that. You read the article this morning on ESPN,
yes,
huh?
Dude.
Isn't that wild?
I just am sitting there going, do you know when they, I thought for sure, I had to go look it up because I thought that the dude, somehow put the wrong quarterback in there.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He's right.
He's dead right.
I was like, Lamar Jackson's not beating Fitzpatrick?
So that he had like a ranking system that you saw, and like Lamar has a lot of his running
runs.
is on designed runs, whereas Fitzpatrick he scrambles a lot. No, and you also have to think about the fact that they're not going to put a spy on Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, he's
so
old with a big old beard, and he's from
he
Harvard.
Can run a little bit though.
But no, that's what I was about to say. Nobody thinks he's got some motor, and that's where he sneaks up and surprises you. I'm telling you, he surprised the bleep out of me. So we got some great stuff. And, Gabe, I love it when you know exactly what I read today. That's hilarious. So we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, fantasy football at 1:30 with Jim McCormick. And then me and Gabe have always the leadoff. 3 amazing questions. Leadoff is perfect. It's baseball. You know, I hate you, Carlos Correa. Sorry, I shouldn't say I hate anybody. That is rude, right? I dislike you a whole lot, Carlos Correa. I don't think you're a very good dude, and I don't like you because of what the Houston Astros did. And you never have shown you remind me of Jim Crane. The only time he even pretended to show remorse was when he read that statement, and then he went right after he read that statement. One question later, oh, no, we didn't cheat. We earned that World Series. Oh, so you don't believe anything you just said in your statement. You're so full of it. Carlos Correa, he's like, I don't care if you hate me. We're the best, blah, blah, blah. And then he hits a walk-off bomb. Told Dusty Baker he was going to do it. They're kind of backing off that a little bit today. But last night, man, that was like Dusty Baker had the whole story. He looked at me and said, I'm walking this one off. Yeah. I don't know about that, but anyway, it was.
And
on
Kershaw
everything.
continues to be the most unlucky playoff pitcher ever.
Bro, let me just tell you something.
Why did the bullpen never bails him out ever?
Did you feel bad?
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
I felt horrible.
I was going for the Braves. I ended up changing my mind at the last second. I mean, I could not lay $235 to take the dead gum Dodgers. I'd rather throw $20 to double that. You know what I mean? Like. So I'm like, man, I'm just going to watch this one, root for the Braves. I got the Braves for the series, yada, yada, yada. Be good for me. And I'm like, actually find myself rooting for Kershaw in that game. It's 1-1, sixth inning. And holy cow, it was like the Ronald Acuna getting to first base, the blooper over Kershaw's head in his glove. Hernandez throws it wide. He gets to second base, and then it was like, here, you're on second. Here, you come home, and I'm going to go to second. Oh, you're at second. You come home. I'm going to go to second. It was just, they were smoking the ball. Ozuna's been smoking. He's seeing the baseball.
Speaking of Ozuna, I tried to have this conversation on middays. Do you think he has a chance of being the NL MVP?
Yeah.
And also, like, he would be the second DH ever, correct? That has won an MVP award.
You know what? Honestly, I can't think.
I believe it's
Edgar
the second.
Martinez?
Yeah, I believe he'd be the second.
I got to look that one up. I can't think. Only one I can think of.
So obviously, I think Freddie Freeman has a good case as well. But if Marcell Ozuna, that would be a pretty historical one.
That would be huge, actually. That would be. No player has ever won the MVP award in a season in which they were the DH. You have Don Baylor, AL win the 1997 when he started 97 games in the outfield and 65 at DH. Then, of course, it will not have World Series MVPs all time. Here we go. Come on, show me this bad boy because you got me fascinated. But while I'm looking for this, found one. David Ortiz, Big Papi. There we go. We do got one. Hey, Gabe Kuhn. Got to say, guess what? We got two. Hideki Matsui. He got one in 2009 in the AL. And so we've had two so far all time. Three, Paul Molitor. Dead gummit. I don't even see my man.
We might get more.
Yeah, we might get more.
Given that we might have a universal DH.
Dude, three of them all time. So only three all time. That is nobody in the regular season ever.
And Don Baylor's the only one regular season MVP.
And he didn't even play. He played 93 games outfield. Yeah. The most games ever to be a regular season MVP was Don Baylor at 65 at the DH.
I think they counted him as a DH too when he won the award.
Well, they counted him. That's why I was saying they kind of cheated because they put
cheated,
him outfield DH. It says OF/DH.
All this to say, if Marcell Ozuna, I know it's a 60-game season, if he ends up winning the NL MVP, that would be a pretty historical win.
Yeah, that would be absolute banana sandwiches, to be honest with you. The NL MVP award is wide open, though. I think. I mean, it really is. You still got to look at a bunch of Dodgers. It's just there's so many people out there. I don't know yet, but he right now, the way he's playing in the postseason at it, I think honestly, this is going to drive you crazy. I think it's Freddie Freeman.
No, it doesn't drive. I just mentioned him.
His own teammate.
I just mentioned him.
Is possibly, I think, just going to edge him out. It's the years, it's the season he's having, and he's Freddie.
And not to mention how it, and I know it shouldn't come into this, but he started the season on COVID with
Correct.
COVID, and
I can't
and sort of overcome, and he struggled badly with it. So I know that's not supposed to come into the equation, but it could be something.
Dude, I'm totally with you on that one. I'll also tell you about why I need to shrink sometimes, because today I had a crazy. They got up at 5 o'clock to work out, never made it. What a day I've had today. But I did make it to an animal hospital. Fun stuff. Had my garbage disposal go out, and somebody burn out my what is that little thing? Your washer thingy. Dead gummit. I'm not very good at doing
your washer.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever. Great days, but guess what? I'm here. I'm fired up. I'm so happy. 67129. Hit me up. MemphisFarmers.com is going to give you the leadoff. That's Chad Gatlin, 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Chad Gatlin is the best in the business. The power of farmers, the knowledge of this area, plus he'll answer the phone and be there for you in a time of crisis. When you're actually in need, how nice is it to have somebody that's actually there instead of just go have to find somebody on a website? Oh, who am I going to call? You get him as your agent, you call him. He'll take care of you. Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com. I'm in the box. Let's do the leadoff.
And always remember, Always remember, First Bank text line 67129, First Bank phone line 901-360-8255 if you want to join the conversation on anything we talk about today. But I want to start here. I should have talked to you about this earlier in the week, but the White Sox are reportedly interested in Tony La Russa. He's obviously a Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion as a manager, 1 with the A's, 2 with the Cardinals. Just an all-time winner, one of the better managers of all time, 4-time Manager of the Year. He obviously started his career with the White Sox in the 80s. Later, again, A's, Cardinals. Here's the catch right now. He's currently a senior advisor of baseball ops for the Angels, and he is 76 years of age. What do you think about Tony La Russa possibly managing again?
Lunacy. Sorry. It's not only is it lunacy, you know he's talking about going to be? This ain't the Cubs, son. This is the White Sox. I like this young team. I know that he's looking at Yoán Moncada, and he's over there with one of the best first basemen going, I like Jose Abreu. 330 every single year and 100. I mean, dude just puts up the numbers every deadgum year. Moncada's on the rise. There's Lucas Giolito. You still have Keuchel over there who's getting even a little bit old. But, I mean, they got a lot of everything. And I know he probably, at 76, has these ideas of grandeur floating around in his head that he's still got it, man. 76, I'm going to go get this done. 76 ain't relating today, Tony. 76 ain't relating to these young people. I struggle to relate to these people. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. They go at a pace that I don't understand. I am on the internet. I'm not that big of a dork, I don't think. Well, I'm a dork, yes. But I have I don't have the Facebook. No, I don't. I have a Twitter, and I have which I'm active on, but I have a TikTok that I just follow, 420 Dogface, and a couple other crazy people. You know what I mean?
I'm impressed you have TikTok.
Yeah, so I got to I'm kind of, and I even have an Instagram. I just don't like taking pictures and putting them on there, so I kind of more use it to look at people. Honey would put them on there for me for a while, and now she just quit it. But I mean, and all that, and that all being said, I don't understand Snapchat. My daughter is doing all these things that I don't get. It is driving me absolutely bananas. Yes, now my oldest is married and has grandkids. My youngest is in high school. She is a senior and she's ready to rock and fire and doing her own life. Right now she's in Florida. Do you know how stressed out I am? Let me just tell you. So what I'm trying to say is 76. I'm not even 46 yet. I can't relate. How the heck is Tony going to come in there with a bunch of ball players who play a different game today, by the way, Tony? A different baseball game. We have StatCast, we have Cybermetrics, we have WAR, we have all these numbers. By the way, Tony, do you know that a lot of managers also have to listen to the dudes in the front office when they tell them who to put somebody in or play? Can you handle that? Because that's what the White Sox organization does. No, you need to be the head boss. Well, guess what? No organization really is run with a head boss like that anymore. You would struggle. The White Sox would struggle. It would be a nightmare. Sorry, Tony. Enjoy retirement, bro. You look like a raisin. Go ahead. Just go to the equator and turn into one of the California raisins. I don't know.
Seems to have a good gig, though, right now as a baseball operations senior advisor.
And
Seems like something he'd be good at. Right,
yeah,
exactly.
He does that very well.
While the White Sox is obviously a very attractive job, given all the talent they have on that roster, he is an old guy. Old guy.
Do you think he can relate it anymore?
Probably not. And it's interesting that they want to go this direction in the new age of analytics and everything else.
Correct.
But that's a conversation that we could get into another day. Now, Le'Veon Bell signed with the Chiefs. How about it? How about it? A 1-year deal, as if they didn't have enough, as if they didn't have enough talent on that offense already. Now we know the talent he has, and that is already there. He will split time likely with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I know that hurts you. Do you like the fit, and how big of a difference do you think Le'Veon Bell will make?
For me, it's going to probably break my season, but for the NFL, it just basically gives a loaded team, basically just throw in a Green Beret and a Navy SEAL and a tank while you're at it. I mean, what the bleep are you doing, dude? Like, this Kansas City Chiefs offense is redonkulous. You've got 4-2, 4-3, and then poor Sammy Watkins is slow at like a 4-3-7 or 4-4 now. You know what I mean? You got Travis Kelce, Superman. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was awesome, and now you get the greatest pass-catching back out of the backfield since Marshall Faulk. I'm sorry. It's almost unfair. He's going to come into Kansas City, I think, with a burst. He's going to know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to split it. He's not going to get used up. It's going to make them fresh for the postseason. I mean, Edwards-Helaire being a rookie, he's not going to have to burn out his legs. Le'Veon Bell being older, he's not going to burn out his legs. Patrick Mahomes just going to use them perfectly. And guess what? Spread the wealth. And Kansas City's going to go hold up another Lombardi trophy.
I have to correct you real quick. You said it's almost unfair? No, it's unfair.
Yes.
It is unfair. No, it ain't. Nothing almost about it. Le'Veon Bell getting added to this squad is absolutely ridiculous. My question becomes, though, with how much talent they have on that team already and how they use it, how much does he really add? Does he add another facet to their offense? I don't necessarily know. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has done a good job in that backfield.
I think he's done a fabulous job in the backfield, but this is what I think the reason that they actually did this. They didn't want Edwards-Helaire to hit that thing, the rookie wall. Not saying he's definitely going to, but they want to keep their bodies fresh for the postseason, and by taking 200 plays off the field for Edwards-Helaire and being able to extend his season all the way into the postseason to a Super Bowl, you just made his legs fresh for that run. And you got two now backs that can do everything. You can catch the ball. Both can catch the ball to the backfield. Both can run between the tackles. Both are patient. It's really unfair.
Point well taken. Best backfield in the NFL now, no question.
Yep.
Now, it's Friday, so we're going to talk some UCF Memphis. Huge AAC game.
Crazy.
Huge implications on postseason play, who gets the AAC championship, what have you. Memphis has actually lost 13 straight to UCF, including, in recent years, the 2018 AAC championship and the 2017
McKenzie Milton was awesome,
AAC championship. But it will be a sold-out Liberty Bowl to 10,500 fans. It's increased. There's more people in there. But my question is simple. Can the Tigers break their losing streak versus UCF and stay in the conversation for the AAC championship?
The Tigers can. You know what I'm saying? Memphis could beat UCF because, one, just UCF's weird. They're coming off a loss that nobody expected. They didn't deal with COVID like the Tigers did. I can honestly just say, what the bleep was that? Turnovers were a bit of, part of it. Stupid playmaking and penalties was a part of it, and it looked like a lack of intensity against Tulsa was a huge part of it. And I'm sorry, that has got to be, for a coach, a red flag. A gambler, that's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? You're like, dang, I can't trust this team completely. They can come out flat. They're 18 to 22-year-old kids. One may break up with his girlfriend, might go to a kegger the night before. I don't know. They're wild kids. Who knows? If all of them are taken serious and being pros, it's a different thing, but not all kids do that. I think the fact that you have Brady White, who's been playing quarterback since probably Gabe was in diapers, is a good thing. Dude knows the offense and dude knows how to play, and he's been in these situations. It's almost like he's due. And how close has Memphis been? It's always been like this close. And that's when McKenzie Milton was balling. That's back in the Frost days. That's when Heupel first got there. That's when Dylan Gabriel was going bananas. Look, Dylan's still there. So is Brady White. I know there's no Kenneth Gainwell, but there is something that I think is going to be the key of this game. I truly believe Mike McIntyre is going to be the biggest difference this year for this Memphis Tigers team against Central Florida. They're going to come in with a plan, and they're going to execute it.
And if you want to be very specific about what that plan needs to entail, limit explosive plays. They take 20 to 25 shots downfield a game. Dylan Gabriel has a big arm. They have Marlon Williams on the outside. They have a lot of guys that can beat you. Now, all that being said, they just lost at home. They're going to be coming out wanting to prove something. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take even more shots downfield to try to get after Memphis early. But also, I do want to point this out. Brady White, last year, against Temple, had a really bad game. It's very similar, very cognizant of what we saw
in the first half and the very end of
what we saw of
SMU.
This SMU game. Very, very similar. The next game, I have to remind you, last year after Temple was Tulane. Brady White came out 5 TDs, 0 interceptions, was absolutely on fire, was untouchable, didn't want to make the mistakes he made in that game before. I think we see a new Brady White. I think we see the Tigers run the ball. I think they can win this game, but it's going to be very close, and I'm curious how it goes.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not just curious about it, how it goes. I always like for a big game like this, for some reason when I talk about this, nothing else really does this to me, and it's kind of weird except for Tiger basketball and a Tiger football game. I actually kind of get like I'm a kid again, like those little butterflies. I'm like, when you think about it and talk about it. Yeah, tomorrow I'm a little bit nervous, but that just shows I'm really stoked about watching this game. I mean, I am so excited about seeing what Brady White and Sean Dykes can do versus that UCF defense, and I'm also ready to see what Mike McIntyre can do because they average 552 yards a game. Can you slow down and turn over UCF and Dillon Gabriel?
I want to see a couple things. I want to see the Tigers. I want to see a third option emerge via the pass, right? Because you have Coxie and you have Dykes, and after that it's been sort of either Calvin Austin, maybe Taj Washington catches a few. I want to see a third option really emerge. And then also I want to see the Tigers establish the run game, and I think that's going to be very, very vital to their success. They have to control the time of possession and try to keep Dillon Gabriel off the field and keep him out of sync the whole day. That seems seemingly what Tulsa tried to do, and they did a decent job.
How good is that offensive line realistically for Central Florida?
It's okay.
That's what I kind of thought.
They'll be able to run.
Can this Memphis team exploit it?
So, based on what the Tigers just did in stopping the run versus SMU and how high-powered they thought that rushing attack was, you would seemingly think, hey, it won't be that hard to stop this UCF rushing attack. But I will say UCF, as far as their O-line goes and the backs they have, Otis Anderson and Greg McCrae, who have been there for years, they're going to get some, but hopefully the Tigers limit it.
Man, I think it's going to be a power, fun football game. I got to say one thing that's a little bit whack out there, by the way. Did anybody expect 109 points in the Arkansas-Georgia State game last night?
How about it?
Whoa.
I loved that game.
That was wild.
It's a great game.
That was a football game and a half.
And by the way, Arkansas State covered.
Yes, they did.
Even though you were onto something thinking.
Yeah, dude, I thought Georgia State, they were running the football, weren't they?
They were passing.
They were passing. They did everything. Look, Arkansas State, though, if I'm going to talk about somebody throwing the ball.
Not much defense going on.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm going with Hatcher, dude. Hatcher had 4 touchdown passes and 332
Bonner had 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, but yeah.
The wide receiver had a touchdown pass to Lincoln Perry.
I missed that one.
Yeah, they threw 8 touchdown passes.
I was switching back, and I watched Archie some, too.
Oh, he was. We'll talk about that at the end
good.
of the hour because we have.
By the way, that other
team,
that little running back was good too.
But last night, Arkansas State had 8 touchdown passes. One of them was by one of their wide receivers to Lincoln Perry.
Man, you mean our kid from Houston, the guy we love so much? I missed that bad boy.
Of course.
Oh man, I was probably watching a little Arch or something, or maybe baseball. But I was all over the place. It was a lot of fun. We'll talk about it. We're going to continue, and you know who's next? Fantasy football. Hit us up 67129. Jim McCormick's next. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stats. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you. At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build your own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Another touchdown and another successful play-action pass pattern to sell another home in record time by Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. What people don't realize is that Sheldon's success wasn't luck, and it didn't come overnight. It took years of training and working out with weights to build the boat necessary to help get the sellers through the goalpost, to the closing table, to win the game and sell their home in record time and to make everything they wanted. Yes, that's why people choose Sheldon as their quarterback, because, as people often say, when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Before you bet on a team to win, make sure and call or email the quarterback that's a proven winner and has a strategic marketing program with the play-action Shellbucks option. That can mean the difference in whether you sit on the bench for months and months or sell. Call or email Sheldon at 682-1868. or MemphisRelocate.com. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Family Leisure's done it again. We're talking about the world's biggest spa sale. Up to 30% off on spas and swim spas. Choose from hundreds of different spas from multiple manufacturers. There is special financing available, and if you are in the market, special pricing now as summer starts to dwindle on chemicals and accessories. Always professional delivery available. The spas are going crazy at Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Ray.
Get over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Hello. It's kind of like, you can tell if you've been watching Schitt's Creek, Gabe, who that comes from. Not Roland, but yes. I'll tell you one thing. If you don't watch that, I think I've watched 17 episodes in a week. I watched like 4 a night. I can't help it. Once sports go over, it's how I fall asleep in the chair.
So what's the plot, real quick?
A super, like they had like $100 million family. Like they were the number one. They were like the people who invented Blockbuster or something. Okay, so the kids are very spoiled and rich, and the mother was on a soap opera, so she believes like she's a great actress. And then the dad was again, he made the like Blockbuster or something like that, but wasn't called Blockbuster. It was just, I was the number one rental movie place in the world, you know. So they were very rich. But their business partner took off and stole all of their money. And as a joke, they bought a county called Schitt's Creek. And they had to move to this county, and they have to stay in a hotel. And it's about these uber wealthy people stuck in this town of like a population of like 200. It is the best. I mean, I'm telling you, if you want to laugh, if you had a bad day, watch it. Jim McCormick, though, if you had a bad fantasy weekend, get in touch with him at _ Jimmy McCormick. McCormick, have you ever watched The Little Creek?
I've only seen a couple episodes, but I know a lot of people feel like they're fantasy teams on Schitt's Creek. So
That's the deadgum truth. I can tell you that.
So it's like I can understand it from that perspective. That sometimes you feel like you move from a mansion in week 1 into your motel in week 4 or 5. So.
That is the. By the way, if you had Drew Brees, you feel like you've been just like, why did I pick him as a quarterback? But there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. And by the way, we got to just to start with, I think, don't we have to start with Le'Veon Bell and how the bleep the Chiefs add him?
Yeah.
What's this do to my Clyde Edwards-Helaire that I picked with the 7th pick?
Yeah.
Did I just get killed yesterday?
I don't think you got killed, but you got hurt because, we saw, we've seen kind of how they, we've seen how they can integrate running backs quickly into that Chiefs system is what I'm trying to say, and how they do obviously have a value for some veteran presence because they were the other team that was in competition for Leonard Fournette. So this isn't even just all about Lev. They wanted another body in there. They talked to Devonta Freeman before that. So it's like they wanted another body in there, and it seems like this is kind of not worst case. It's just not a great case because I actually think Lev has a little bit of something left. I don't think he's not Le'Veon Bell anymore, but he just was in such a bad situation in New York that I think it was just difficult to see who the player really was. So if you have Lev Bell, I think you just got a little bit better. Even though you're joining competition, you got a better player because obviously the situation. And if you have Helaire, I think he's an RB2 now.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Clyde Edwards just went from my favorite player on my team to, at least my favorite running back to great. Now, there's some great matchups this week, though, and I think one of the best and most explosive matchups. I want to get a lot of action, and I think you would think this too, of the Bucs-Packers game. Are you down with getting as much action like from Evans, or Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones? Do you like this to be a shootout?
I think there's some elements there. There's some talented defense, but again, it's one of these weeks where we have 8, of the 14 games on this slate, we have 8 that are 51 and above. And that's one of those games. So you want to pursue those games that have really healthy. There's 4 or 5 that are 53 and above. And what I'm saying by that is point totals. So I think there's something to be said about this. I don't think it's a single game. I don't think there's one game that's so exciting this week that I'm like, oh my God. I can say the same about Minnesota, Atlanta. I know it's an ugly game, but the points are going to fly. There's no secondaries with those teams. So, but I do think the Battle of the Bays will be a good one. I am getting a little concerned if Godwin and Evans play. I really want to see how they perform together. Mike Evans has played 2 games with Chris Godwin this year, and he has 4 yards in those 2 games. So I would like that to be better. So I think we're getting to the point where we have to start expecting more out of some of these offenses, like Tampa Bay. I want a little bit more clarity out of Tampa Bay. That's my goal this week.
And we're everything because I also have Chris Godwin. Everything's pointing to him playing this week with Mike Evans, right?
He's going to play, and you play him, and you just go for it. You can't predict game usage.
Would you rather have Godwin or Evans? Because now I'm kind of curious.
I'd probably rather have Godwin. I think early on, he's more built for that slant stuff. He was a slot guy to begin with. I think he's a little bit more built for the slot stuff that works with Tom really well. He can also go vertical. It's just that thus far, the Evans and Brady have been fine around the red zone, but nothing between the 20s. And I just think maybe. This is my personal opinion. I think Godwin might be the more versatile guy. You can deploy him all over the field.
All right, now I need to know this is very important, and we're going to have some fun. I got a bunch of great texts that have already come in. I don't know if this is DFS or if this is just Ole Miss bragging. Who do you like going forward in fantasy, A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss?
Yeah, I can see that being realistic, though. Those are guys you could draft in the 3rd and 4th round. I like Metcalf more. I just think you have something going on.
Is it Russell Wilson?
You go to a team. Seattle wasn't passing the ball in neutral situations last year. They're just a run team, and now they lead the league in passing in neutral situations. What I mean by that is 2nd and 6 or a 3rd and short, a situation where a lot of teams will do both. They're passing. They're letting Russ cook. It's coming sometimes at the expense of Chris Carson's workload, but everyone else doesn't care because Russ is a fantasy superstar right now, and I think Metcalf is the alpha. He's the TO of that offense. I just think there's so much. I really do love A.J. Brown. I mean, both are in great situations. But in terms of volume, you got Russ dropping back 40 times.
And by the way, you also have Russ, who's playing at such an insane level. But I hate to say this, Ryan Tannehill's playing at a pretty insane level. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching Tuesday versus the Bills. And Tannehill, you look at his record. What is it? Is it 11-3 or 12-3 since he took over the starter?
He's a QB1 in real life and in fantasy. Like, he's just a QB1. They rely a lot on play action to make that work. But kudos to the team for figuring out who they are.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Did you love that stiff arm when he threw on Josh Norman?
Oh my God,
what? That was like.
Oh my God, like you work all this, you work your whole career, and and you end up being a meme, right? like one.
Dude, remember he was like wanting to fight Cam Newton back in the day, and then Derrick Henry just threw him down.
Steve Smith, and he gets one tackle, and it's like, yeah, you are now that guy that was in the air.
Oh, that's so sad. Now, this is important because you would not believe how many people have asked me about Dallas. What does this do to Mr. Ridley?
Yeah.
What does this do to Mr. CeeDee Lamb? Is Zeke Elliott going to go up or down? How is this going to affect the Dallas Cowboys? Do you think the offense is going to be fine like me? I've been telling everybody to chill out. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, I still think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to run at this. Like, first of all, it was already running a little bit over mileage anyway, right? Like, it was.
Yeah, 400 yards a game is a little nuts.
Yeah, they were going down 24 in the third quarter every week, and then just making this like crazy rush back. And Dak was. I don't think the volume's gonna be quite as high. Which you're gonna have some weeks where Gallup disappears, and maybe even Cooper. CeeDee Lamb is on pace for the most yards in the history of football for a rookie. He's on pace for 1,386 yards. So he's like, this rookie class is just nuts. I think that slows down a little bit. I think everything slows down a little bit, but I think what you're saying and what you're trying to tell people is it's not going from the 100th percentile to the 50th percentile. It's going to go to a normal offense, like in the 80s. It's going to be a B-plus offense. I still think you can eat with this offense. I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't run away from it. Look, we've seen Andy Dalton. He's not a good real football player, but we've seen him support fantasy football teams before. If anything, I think Zeke might just get a little bit more of the offense altogether.
I'm with you on that one. Now, are you got a couple people asking me, Odell Beckham sitting out again today. If he plays, which I kind of predict he's going to play, he doesn't have COVID. He's still a must start, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't a great setup, but I mean, look, guys have actually been producing a little bit against Pittsburgh when there's quarterbacks not getting sacked, like meaning like the secondary isn't like shut down in Pittsburgh. It's good, but obviously, meaning like the back seven might be the weakest part of their team. The front seven's where they make their money. But I think the thing with him is that you have to get past this week. Like, you're going to play him. It's a non-COVID illness. They have to do this now in the NFL. They send you home if you have any illness. He's going to play. He probably, let's be honest, he probably took an edible. It's Odell.
Yes, good point.
But more realistically, get your buy low offers in for him. Not buy low. But I think Monday or Tuesday, he's going to have 2 weeks in a row where he didn't do a ton, because I don't think he goes off this week. I could be wrong. But then I think, look at his schedule. Look at Beckham's schedule. He's going to go off.
Oh, you got me on that one. Thank you. That one made me very, very happy. I got a poor gentleman who says, I got 3. I need you to pick 2 out of the 3. 1, Jonathan Taylor. 2, Antonio Gibson. Or 3, Mr. Devin Singletary, who's playing Kansas City, man.
We're picking 1 of the 3 or 2 of the 3?
2 of the 3. I'm sorry. Leave out 1.
2 of the 3. Well, I'm going to sit Singletary. Like, I like Singletary.
Ooh, even in Kansas City? I mean, even playing Kansas City?
Yeah, because Zach Moss is a full go. I just think he's going to be a between-the-20s guy. I think he's safer scrimmage-wise than Gibson, but Gibson's playing these Giants. Gibson's running well. Mm-hmm. I think that's the gamble. I think Taylor's your lock because I understand he hasn't gone off yet, but this week's actually built pretty well.
They're playing Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, they're playing Cincinnati, and they just got a couple offensive linemen back, too, with the Colts. I just think, like, everything's kind of lined up, and obviously every third attempt for Philip Rivers is an interception, so they just have to run the ball. But, like, I think that the conversation there, it goes to Gibson. I know it's the riskier play, but let's be honest, like, if they ever do get a rhythm going and start feeding somebody the ball, Gibson seems like the guy who would go off.
All right, I got a weird question. I don't know if it's not necessarily weird. I think it makes sense, and I understand what they're saying. Atlanta is going nowhere fast. Would you try to get as much as you can for Todd Gurley because he's played better than expected?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the thing with Todd Gurley is, like last week, for example, he's got that big run, but then you look down at the end of the game, he has 15 touches. It's just like they're not in the business of feeding him a ton of touches. He's a one-year deal, essentially. Yeah, like you said, like I don't think they're going in the right direction. I still think he's going to get his work, but I'd be fine moving him, especially coming off of a big week. I think Mark Ingram is another one of these guys. Like, if he has a 2-touchdown week, move him, okay? Just because there's these guys who are only getting 12 to 15 touches. You can't do much with those guys.
Now, everybody knows this, freaking out. I know they are. If you have Dalvin Cook, you're probably freaking out. Now, do you just throw in Alexander Madison and hope that basically he, can do the same thing? Or what are you doing in this situation? Are you looking elsewhere? Or are you just going with his backup?
You hope you had Madison because he had 24 touches last week. I mean, look, they give 60-some touches to their backfield. They're insane. But like you and I have talked about Pittsburgh before and how kind of they're old school. I think Zimmer is one of those kind of, like, he may be like the Pittsburgh of the NFC in the terms of, like, every time they've had an injury, they kind of give it to the next guy, and they elevate that next guy. It didn't work last year for the Mike Boone truthers, but this year I do think that Madison's capable. He's not going to give you the same thing as Cook, but you're going to get 80%, and more importantly, you get the touches. You know the touches are going to him, 18 to 22 touches. That's hard to run away from. I think Madison's like a top. He's an RB1 this week, just because that we know he's going to get 18 touches.
Man, I dig that one very much. Now, I keep looking and trying to wonder about this one. This one's kind of weird to me right now. Baltimore Ravens, and I'm just trying to wonder what their identity is. They're playing the Eagles this week, and I got a guy who's basically they say it's just pass catchers, so it can be a wide receiver, and he's basically wondered, would you go with Chase Claypool this week against Cleveland, or would you go with Mr. Andrews, the big old tight end for Baltimore? But Baltimore, that's a tough one right there. I mean, Claypool's coming off a historic day, but Andrews is probably the more. I don't know. I'm gonna let you talk.
Yeah. I mean, look, Andrews is I think second in the NFL in touchdowns since the start of last year. So it's and I don't mean among tight ends. I mean in football.
Wow.
He's got 13 or 14 catching touchdowns since the start of last year. So it's you're talking about a guy who is I'm not using the word Gronk, anything sacrilegious. What I'm saying is, of all the tight ends, of the top tight ends, he's the touchdown guy. You know what I mean? He's the touchdown maker. He's the guy who converts around the goal line, and a lot of your equity is touchdowns. He's the kind of guy who can get 4 targets, and you're disappointed, but then you realize that he had 2 touchdowns on those. So I just think the touchdown equity is too high with him. There's an eye with him on these seam routes. He's not a normal tight end either. He's averaging 13, 14 yards per target. So he's good. I would stick with him. I understand the temptation to go to Claypool, and sitting Claypool seems sacrilegious, but I don't think that's the same case this week. I think Claypool will be fine this week and still not outscore Andrews.
I think I'm with you, and I think a lot of people, though, after what would happen last week, are going to be looking for tons of production out of Claypool. Maybe it could be not so fast, man. That Cleveland team's got
good, but
he's good. But
look,
he was on the field, I think, 32 plays.
That's what it is. He was before Deontay Johnson went down. He was running as their 4th receiver just last week. So I really like him. It's just going to have to happen on spot plays. Deontay Johnson's back, so I love the guy. And if you're in a dynasty league or keeper league, you did really well. Eagles fans will always shudder at the name, but at the same time, I don't think anybody repeats a 4-touchdown week. I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't score this week. I mean, and I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying that's how the volatility of football works.
And by the way, I want to just kind of are you saying and this is where I kind of put him this week. I think he's in a Justin Jefferson, maybe Tyler Boyd. They're playing at Philly.
He's a little bit behind those guys. Yeah,
because
those guys.
A little behind those, but around them. Yeah.
Yeah, he's right in that tier, and I can see you wanting to get him in because of what he just did. It's just that those guys are going to be on the field more, and it's just really tough to catch the ball when you're not in the field.
Now, what do we do with T.Y. Hilton? Have we given up on him yet?
It's close. I mean, look, last week though was the first time. This is kind of not. I'm not saying it's a 1-week thing, but this would be the week where I have to see something because what happened was the first month he was getting used like a wide receiver 3. Last week, 10 targets. Dropped a touchdown. If you watched that game, it was painful. It was just right in his hands. But he got the usage. He got the usage of what you wanted. So if he gets that again this week and he does something with it, then I'm feeling like there's momentum. If he doesn't do anything with it or that role goes away, then I'm starting to suspect that like we're not going to see a lot of goods out of T.Y. Hilton this year.
Man, this is wild. And I got to ask you, DUI Melvin Gordon, plus he's also been like out because he's been sick. They say he had COVID. What's going on with Gordon this week, and are you sitting him?
It's tough, but RB is so ugly that like if he's active, then I just kind of play him. I don't know what their protocol is in that team, like if they're going to use the guy, but if Philip Lindsay is back, then it's scarier. Like to use Gordon outright because I could see them just giving the workload to Lindsay. But, it's one of these things where running back's so ugly. If the guy's active, I have to use him.
Man, I feel you. Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for answering a million questions in one. I'm fired up. If you have any questions that we didn't get to, @_Jimmy McCormick, hit him up. Also, give him a follow. He joins us every Friday at 1:30 to talk fantasy football. We'll do it again next week and basically give us a little word of wisdom.
Yeah, man, maybe next week we can talk some Grizzlies because I like your little squad there.
Oh, thank you, man. We'll do that, Jimmy. And by the way, he also does fantasy basketball, so he plays no games. Jimmy, be good out there, my friend.
All right, everybody.
Jim McCormick, @_Jimmy McCormick. Give him a follow. We'll be back in 2 shakes coming up. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Hey everybody, I'm out here at Olive Branch looking at all these new Silverados at All Star Chevrolet, and guess what? It's Trucktober, and nobody has more new Silverado trucks than right here at All Star Chevrolet, and I'm seeing them right now. Look at this. You can get the Trucktober thousands in cash off price, up to $5,000 in cash back. Holidays are coming. In fact, they're already here. All Star Chevy has all these new 2020 Chevy SUVs and trucks with cash back deals in the thousands. New 3-row Traverse, new Equinox, Impala, or Malibu, all come with thousands in Chevy cash back for you. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not Covington Pike, not Collierville or South Haven. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. And the certified pre-owned lot is full. Impalas, Malibus, Tahoes, and Suburbans. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one job, to make sure you have more fun, get the best deal, and in record time. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy on Kraft Goodman Road or online at allstarautogroup.com. Beat any dealer's ad price any day at All-Star Chevrolet. Best financing for everyone.
Hey, Tennessee, sports betting is almost here, and FanDuel Sportsbook is giving you an exclusive offer to get started. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving users $50 in free bets just for signing up. You heard that right. They're giving you $50 in free site credit to register and verify early. No deposit required. FanDuel is America's #1 sports betting site for a reason. They've got odds on all the biggest sports in a simple, intuitive app that makes it easy to find the bet you're looking for, then lock it in. And unlike other sportsbooks, once you win, FanDuel gets you your cash in as little as 24 hours. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. But right now, the right thing for you to do is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and check out their fantastic app for yourself. Just be sure to sign up and register using promo code BIGHEAD. That's me, Peter, with the big head, so they know I sent you. Use promo code BIGHEAD, and when you verify your account, you'll receive $50 in site credit when FanDuel Sportsbook is live. That's promo code BIGHEAD to get $50 in site credit when FanDuel Sportsbook is live. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Sure thing, we can help you with your wipers. If yours are squeaking or streaking, it's probably time to replace them. We've got great deals on wipers that can stand up to any weather. Right now, you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Quantum wiper blades. And with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup, you can get them fast. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
What's up? Happy Friday. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour on Sports 56 with Gabe Kuhn and me, Johnny Radio. Give us a follow. By the way, you know you can also follow Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. See all the shows. It's amazing. Go to sports56whbq.com. Listen to our 2 FM channels, the original AM. And don't forget, go to Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Check it out. They got the world's biggest spa sale. They got, like chemicals for your pool. You can get a pool right now and just be like, yo, come up next year, put it in, get ready to go. They got everything you need. Professional delivery available. That's Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. But we had a little Penny Hardaway presser this morning.
Yeah, he met on Zoom with some of the media members locally, had conversation about the number 3 ranked recruiting class. He said actually that he likes this recruiting class more than anyone he's had so far, but that's a very interesting thing considering where he was a couple years ago with James Wiseman and otherwise. Now, on DeAndre Williams, they are still waiting for a waiver, waiting for the NCAA to grant DeAndre Williams eligibility. Obviously, he comes from Evansville, and they're still waiting on that. Landers Nolly, the guy from Virginia Tech, ended up getting it.
Already got it, yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting to me, though, because DeAndre Williams has a better case. His coach left at Evansville, but the NCAA, we know how they operate at times. Also, in regards to their non-conference schedule, he mentioned that Tennessee, while they were in talks about playing again, he says the earliest they will play is 2021. 2021? But it is not in the books, obviously, yet. He said it is a maybe at the moment. And then, also...
Better than I heard.
What?
I said that's great news, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's considering the Rick Barnes, Penny fiasco and how that ended up, it is good news to hear it maybe in the works. And then also on the open assistant coaching position, he mentioned, Penny, that they have not made a decision because of the financial straits they're in right now as far as an athletic department goes. We know how many people they had to let go in that athletic department, but he says the open assistant coaching position will be filled, quote, pretty soon. So we'll keep our eye on that. Obviously, that has been vacated by Mike Miller, and he is now at Houston High School.
Man, that's interesting. Good, great information, by the way. A little Tiger basketball info. Don't forget Tiger football. Where? Liberty Bowl. That's right, 2:30. What's it going to be on? ABC TV. You know what they're playing, don't you? That's right. Ryan Silverfield, Mike McIntyre, first shot to drop Josh Heupel, Dylan Gabriel in Central Florida and take them back to where they belong. That is the Tigers on the top, because then on Halloween we could slap Cincinnati too. How nice would that be? Tigers could be back up in first place in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Come on, Tigers. Let's get things done. Speaking of getting things done, Lee Sterling's about to join us to make sure that we win money, that we don't lose money, because what? We like to win, win, win. We got BYU in Houston, Central Florida, Memphis, Alabama and Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then in the National Football League, we're going to talk Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Don't you touch the dial. Don't even look at it. Remember to thank, though, Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Get him the power of farmers, the kindness of somebody from here in Memphis, plus the knowledge and know-how. 901-235-1176, 901-235-1176, or check him out at MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
And if the cloud presents thunder in your ear.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Ben Swinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Ben Swinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. 2 Memphis locations, one in Midtown on Hollywood Street across from the Liberty Bowl, and one in Cordova off Germantown Parkway next to the Fox and Hound. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Ben Swinger Glass.
Lowe's has a brand new flooring showroom filled with all types of floors. Scratch-resistant floors for toddlers and their toys. Easy-to-clean carpets for canines. Stain-resistant floors for scrumptious suppers. Even floors for yogis finding out how flexible they are. There's floors for all. And they're all at Lowe's. Book now and have yours installed by the holidays. Install available, in-store only. Holiday install applies to basic install and subject to date restrictions, installer, and product availability. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. Contiguous U.S. only.
Walgreens has always been there to help make your healthcare easier. From making sure you have the prescriptions you need to answering any questions you have about them. Now, the question is whether you have the right Medicare plan. And we're here to help make that easier too. Walgreens can save you money and peace of mind with copays as low as $0. Visit walgreens.com/Medicare today to see how. Walgreens. We make Medicare easy. $0 copay on Tier 1 generic drugs when enrolled in a plan with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to MemphisFarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at MemphisFarmers.com or call 901-235-1176.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, WPGFLP Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Yo, welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's hour number 2. My good buddy Lee Sterling's about to join me from Paramount Sports. We're going to talk football. Oh, yeah. We're going to do a little bit of Hardwood. In Hardwood today, I'm going to tell you about Billy Ray Cyrus, his wife Tish, Miley Cyrus, and their stash of marijuana in their house, a huge vault. It's very interesting. I'm also going to tell you about the drunkest umpire in the history of the world. And no, I'm not even going to say his name, but no, it was not him. It was not Mr. West. But we are going to talk with Lee Sterling, and we're going to do it right now because we're going to bring this bad boy in. But first, I want to say, remember, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Give Bill a call. Any house, any area, as is. Literally as simple as that. After you win a bunch of money this weekend, you want to move on up, 901-406-1101. He'll buy your house, bing, bang, boom, guaranteed close in 5 days. Now, Lee Sterling, he's going to join us right this second. Lee, how is life, my friend?
It's good.
Dude, we actually got a pretty day here in Memphis, man. It's not raining.
That's a change.
Dude, no joke, man. I needed a little bit of niceness. It's a beautiful day.
So what happens? Do you ever go to the Memphis games now?
See, I'm not going to lie to you. I've had a friend die from this. My kids, my grandkids, everybody's gotten it. Like 20 people I know. I've been a little weak sauce. I go to work and I go home and I go to my little gym and I watch a lot of TV. I haven't been going this year.
But you can go.
I can, but I'm.
How many fans are they allowing to
10,000.
Sold out. 10,500.
10,000.
Okay.
10,000. Oh, they're doing 10,500. Dude, we're stepping on up in the world. But yeah, I'm just a little weak sauce.
No, I'm not going to any games. I mean, we have too many autoimmune things going on in my family. My mother has Parkinson. I had a sister, unfortunately, passed away, breast cancer. She had the BRCA gene. My oldest daughter has MS. So.
Oh no.
And I've got factor V, which isn't that bad. It's a blood disorder. But if I was to fly to Europe, I might go on a blood thinner. So we take it easy, you know.
I don't blame you, man. I like that. Like I said, people are like, man, I can't, I got to get out and live my life. And I just say, man, I can't live if I'm dead. So I'm going to take a little break until I know I can go live.
Hey, I've talked to a couple people that had to get admitted to the hospital. And a couple of these people were younger than I were, probably even in better shape. And they told me that bunch of times they would have rather have died.
When a friend 2 years older than me passed away, right off the bat, I just said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to take this serious."
Right.
Now I do have to also take this very serious. COVID-19, we're talking about. It has a huge effect on this year's games.
Yeah.
Travel, practices. This is probably one of the most difficult years I can remember in handicapping.
Well, look at one of the
not called winning.
games. Look at what's going on in the Memphis game.
Yes.
I mean, UCF's had a bunch of guys, decided not to play. Let's start with that game. How's that sound?
Let's start with that game. Let's rock and fire.
Okay. So in this game, got some pretty good sources. There's some problems with the defense. UCF guys have tapped out, decided not to play. They got some injuries and a couple other things going on. Been some great games. I mean, Memphis hasn't ended up on top, but I think this is their time. I think White's going to have a big game here.
Ooh, and getting points.
I think the wrong team's favored. Memphis, 48-40.
Oh, I just love you, Lee. I'm pulling for that one. That one's a huge one. I want
it's
so
going to
bad.
probably be a selection on my card, too.
Ooh. By the way, just everybody, don't forget, it's very important, 800-400-9741. That's 800-400-9741 and go 9741. And go to ParamountSports.com and check out my good friend Lee. Now, Lee, BYU in Houston. BYU has been beating the brakes off of people. Does it continue tonight?
I think they've got – I don't know if they're going to beat the brakes off Houston, but let me say this. They do the little things to win games. They are ranked number 4 in defense. There's only like 2-3 teams that play defense, and BYU and Georgia are 2 of them. 4th in run, scoring, and total defense. Their linebackers and defensive backs, watch them. They cover. They hit. And a lot of DBs, they just throw their bodies in the running backs. They wrap up their DBs. And they don't beat themselves. 1, 4, 3, and 7 penalties in the 4 games that they've had. Houston, 1 game, 10 penalties. Houston doesn't do the little things, and people were taking notice of Zach Wilson, quarterback for BYU. He's an NFL quarterback. I like BYU here, 40-24.
Oh, I do too. Thank you. I love to hear that one. I love that one. Now, I got to also ask you because, Alabama, the Nick Saban situation, it feels like we've talked more about coronavirus and Nick Saban than we have about Alabama and Georgia. Bama's a 6-point favorite over Georgia. They found their quarterback. They're playing great defense. They got big, in the front 7. The secondary is a little thin. secondary, a little thin against Alabama, is something that scares the bleep out of me. What says the genius Alabama and Georgia?
So, Nick Saban, it was interesting. The line opened up 6. It was 6, and all of a sudden the news comes out he's not coaching. Line goes down to 4, settles at 4.5. So maybe Nick Saban and Bill Belichick are the only two coaches that could affect the line. But it's going to come down to the Alabama offense against the Georgia defense. Alabama's offense averaging 51 points a game. Their defense for Georgia giving up just 12 points per game. Why has Georgia been so successful? They stopped the run. And you stop the run against Auburn and Tennessee, you're going to force them to 3rd and long, and they're not going to be able to go down the field, being able to get by and convert 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10s. And I just think that Alabama's maybe a little cut above, a little bit better offensive line. They got Harris at running back, and he's special. He'll be a 1st or 2nd round pick. They got 2 receivers, Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith, 1st round guys as long as they don't get hurt. I think their quarterback, Mac Jones, is better than Stetson Bennett. I'm a little worried about the Bama defense. Hadn't shown up yet, but maybe they're going to simplify things. They got talent there. They just got to find a way to play with also a little more emotion. I think they're maybe peeking ahead. Give me Alabama. Roll Tide.
I love
34-23.
34-23, cover easy, win by 11. You'll love it. You'll walk to a win. Now, Tennessee and Kentucky, my goodness, man. Tennessee was looking awesome. Kentucky came in. Everybody thought, this defense, thought this running back, this line, but Terry Wilson's been awful. Also, the weakness it looked like for Tennessee could have been the second half play of their quarterback. They got a big offensive line. Also, their offensive line in the second half didn't look good against Georgia. But I'll tell you one thing, man. 2 teams that, the Mississippi State, I don't even know what to tell about that. I don't know what happened in the second half against Auburn. And I sure don't know how you miss a field goal and lose to Ole Miss. Kentucky's been a complete confusion. They confused the hell out of me. And guess what? Jeremy and Pruitt and Tennessee are back to doing what they did to me in year 1. Have me just befuddled.
So Tennessee, I just think they're one of these teams that not good enough as Georgia and Alabama, but I think that they can beat the teams below them. Now, in years past, they would throw up a good game and then they'd fall apart the next game. I think they're mature enough to get over that. And how bad is Kentucky's offense? Averaging 2.6 yards per carry running the ball, passing 3.5 yards per attempt. Usually decent teams are 7 to 9, 7 to 10 range yards per attempt. They are horrific. They got lucky. They faced a Mississippi State team last week that people are realizing now that Mississippi State, that opening week against LSU was just that was just not what they really are. They have a Mississippi State a quarterback that belongs in a pro set, not in an air raid offense, and they don't have receivers. Now they got to face a more balanced team. Tennessee won last year 17-13 with only 18 minutes time of possession. Give me Tennessee 27-17 over Kentucky.
27-17?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see Gray running. I can see that offensive line and dominating, and I just can't see Terry Wilson doing anything special.
Yep.
I'm with you on that one. Now, you got also a great NFL game this week, Pittsburgh. Whoa,
yep.
Undefeated still. Cleveland, though, last week went out there and proved that they are for real. This is a tough game. Steelers -3.5 against a very strong coming Mr. Cleveland. What do you think about this one?
Fun game, though. I think Pittsburgh was looking ahead their defense last week. They brought their C-, D+ game on defense. Didn't play with the energy we're used to seeing. Missed tackles. We saw them had some breaks in coverage. Like I said, I think they were looking ahead. Why is Cleveland 4-1? Number 1 in the NFL with +8 turnovers.
Oh, wow.
They Baker Mayfield, just 3 interceptions in 5 games, but they've been playing with the lead. When he has to play from behind, he's a different quarterback. He loses that weak side linebacker a lot of times in coverage, or the strong or the free safety. And Pittsburgh, all of a sudden, Chase Claypool, 4 touchdowns last week, 3 receiving, 1 rushing. That means you can't really double Juju Smith-Schuster. And the Pitt defense, 20 sacks in 4 games. They're getting after Baker here. I like Pittsburgh 35-27.
Man, I love it. 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 Now, I'll also tell you something. I think T.J. Watt's going to get after Baker Mayfield myself. I think it's going to be fun. Now, I think they're going to be able to neutralize Myles Garrett on the other side with James Conner and the quick passing game of Big Ben. But we got a game of the week, Tennessee and Houston. Tell the people, how do they get it?
Just go to ParamountSports.com. Call us here at 800-400-9741. We're on a roll, 5 out of 6 winning weeks. We hit our 45-unit play in the NFL, now 49-15-1 on these 40 to 50-unit plays, our biggest plays. So how about this? I know there's a lot of people who love to come on board, but maybe financially can't swing it. Maybe they don't want to, to commit to coming with us for a month or a season. So I'm going to make it simple. I'm going to make it affordable. They can spend less than $100. And if they bet $100, $200 a game, they can turn $100, I think, into well over $1,000. How about this? 7 games combined, Saturday and Sunday, 4 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, just $77. It's an instant download. As soon as you purchase it, window pops open, all 7 games, and the ratings from 10 to 50 units. 7 games, that's right, just $77. How do you get it? ParamountSports.com. We also do UFC. We won 21 out of 26 cards. I'm going to send you the card as soon as we get off. Love the card in the UFC. We have 5 selections there, just $55. ParamountSports.com. We do it all. Or call us 800-400-9741. We're going to keep winning.
Man, Lee's the best in the business. I can guarantee you that. He joins me every single Friday at 2 o'clock. I know he's got another radio station to go jump on. I know that he's the best. How do I know? Because I've been using him for 4 years. ParamountSports.com, 800-400-9741, $77. I don't know if I've ever heard you go that low, my friend.
Yeah. I want to get people involved, and this is the way you do it.
Man, that is awesome. Check him out. It's Lee Sterling. We're going to talk again next Monday. I know you got some business. Have fun, my friend.
Okay. You too, Johnny. Have a great weekend.
I will. I promise you that. Thank you, Lee. Now, it is time for us to do something that I love. Thank you. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Yes.
Right into it.
Yes.
Right into it.
Today is going to
loaded.
It's loaded,
Okay.
And I'm going to start with Hannah Montana, aka Miley Cyrus, or is it really Tish and Billy Ray? No, I'm just kidding. It's Tish and Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter. Now listen to this. Did you know that yesterday? Well, actually, it was February 15th, so it was this morning, right? Today is the 15th, is it not? No, never mind. Sorry,
16th.
I can't even
16th.
count. Today's October 16th. Okay, so this was yesterday, October.
It is
16th.
October though. You didn't even know
I
it
don't
was
know why
October.
I said February.
Wow.
I saw a pumpkin and thought of February. That hurts. Oh man, that really hurts, and I'm sober as a bat. That's so scary. Now, Tish.
Well, also, I can't forget that it's October because every time I go home, my girlfriend Taylor is just like, look, I'm going to say this word with love, but like a psychopath about the fall decorations.
Oh, okay.
Like there is orange leaves, like a wreath hanging above my door. We have like 15 pumpkins. I would never be able to forget it was October if I tried. There's no way.
I'm going to go home and tell Honey, hey, man, you need to decorate the house so I know what.
Get a cornucopia in there.
Yeah, throw a cornucopia up in that joint. Speaking of joint, Miley Cyrus, Daddy, and Mommy yesterday released to Instagram their vault of marijuana. And I honestly can tell you this. I've gone to a weed store before in a legal state. I've walked in to check it out to make sure, hey, I just want to make sure it was kosher.
Sure, you didn't buy anything, though.
No, heck no, dude. You know me, man. I'm a straight and narrow kind of guy. So I went in there. I was investigating, see how the situation worked. The situation. I walked in. There wasn't as much pot as I expected. Now, back in the day when I went to the coffee shops in Amsterdam, I thought it was, they had like the cases and the buttons and you lit everything up. I thought it was cooler. It wasn't that nice. But in her own private house, there's not a pot bar I've ever seen that's as cool as what Tish and Billy Ray got. There's a vault, and I'm telling you, look at this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This looks like 14 huge bags. I don't know how many of them. And they're not like Ziploc baggies. They are like what you put your dead gum leaves in, but it's clear and it's straight up full of buds. It's like, it looks like
How many pounds are we talking?
I'm talking about each bag looks like at least 6 pounds. Like, I'm
How
talking
about
about, dude.
How about they grow their own? How does that work?
Well, this is what it says. It said, for 40 years I had to be a closet smoker. For 40 years, this is Tish. So it's just about time I came out. And here's what Tish also wrote. This is how closet smoker she used to have to be. But this is also rich people problems. I literally had to pull over one day after smoking marijuana in my car and go into a dealership and buy a brand new car so I could pick up my daughter and she couldn't smell the weed.
I'm mad.
Is that what she tried to tell her husband?
That just made me mad.
Hey, hold on.
Why? Wait, hold on. No, hold on. That is
rich people problem.
She didn't do that.
Dude, it's right here.
That makes me so angry.
Yeah, on Instagram.
That makes me so
I would
mad.
take that down and now she talks about legalization.
Oh, that makes me
Then
so
she
mad.
gets into a conversation with Willie Nelson, who's a very outspoken person, by the way. He has Willie Nelson. It's called Willie's Reserve. I like that. Willie's Reserve. Heard it's pretty good. But anyway, point is, now she basically came out and said she posted that photo. A lot of people took shots at her. Like, why would you post a picture? You're a super, super rich celebrity. Your daughter acts a little bit loony. Maybe we know why now. They're trying to attack her. And she's basically saying, I've been a closet smoker for over 40 years. And now it's basically like, I've been thinking about going into the marijuana business. And now nothing's holding me back. Everything is out and open. And that's the way it should be. Now, she had to kind of basically do it because her daughter did go on the Andy Cohen show. Do you know what that is? They drink on it and stuff or something. But she said, oh, my mom's going to kill me. And this was like a few months ago. She's like, yeah, nobody knows this, but hopefully she won't care. But I've been she's been wanting to do a weed company for so long. So hopefully this will get her started. But she didn't say she smoked weed. She just said,
I'm still stuck
never
on,
mind. She didn't finish the thing is, yeah, my mom smokes weed a lot.
I'm still stuck on buying a new car to hide the smell of pot.
Dude, yes.
Like, I guess you're going above and beyond for your child, but it's like...
Dude, I know the new car smell, but dude...
Just put the windows down, spray something, figure it out.
That's what I was thinking to myself.
I don't know,
have you ever heard of Febreze?
You don't have to buy a whole new car.
Da-da-da-da-da. That's a great commercial. Miley Cyrus
And how
mom.
much money... Okay, so if she's picking up Miley from school, Miley's probably not making all that much money right that second. Like, how much money do you think Billy Ray Cyrus made and Tish made?
He did make, Achy Breaky Heart.
I
Who
know,
knows?
but that's like his one song, right?
Honestly, you're asking a guy who knows nothing about country music other
But, like,
than
how
Achy
much
Breaky
money
Heart.
could he have possibly made?
Not that much.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't just be buying cars because you smoked in your car. Like, come on.
All right, now I got to ask you this. How do you feel about this? This, I think, is, have you ever heard of, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't a cheater. I'm a nice guy. I don't do all this stuff. But I also know there's a code. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go out. There's certain things you do not say. What is the old saying with Brad Pitt and Edward Norton? Once you're in Fight Club, nothing leaves Fight Club. Is it go like
The
that?
only rule of Fight Club is you can't talk about Fight
Yeah,
Club.
thank you. I needed help.
There you go.
You know I'm not a movie guy.
I got you.
Thank you. I knew you had to help me out. I couldn't even remember it was called Fight Club. I remembered Edward Norton and Brad Pitt before that. I was like walking myself there. But anyway, this is what Channing Crowder goes on a podcast, all right? And I just hate to say this, and it's called the I Am an Athlete podcast. Do you know what he spills the bean on? How easy it is for the NFL players to cheat on their wives while on the road. How him, fellow former athletes, heck, team members would make sure that they were set up for easy cheating while on the road. He says, we're talking about we ain't with our wives, so we still got to get, sex. If they're not on the road with us, you got to get it somewhere. So if you didn't get it from them, you had to get it somewhere before the game. And he says, and plus, if you ain't got no game, somebody would take care of you. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. And then Fred Taylor jumps in. He's like, man, I'm drinking. I'm not having anything to do with this conversation. Basically saying, like, what are you doing, Channing? Like, dude, I mean, have you lost your mind? And he's like, dude, there were women sitting outside of the hotel. We had women at the bar of the hotel. They sent women up to your room. He said they had women down the back stairs.
There's certain things in this
Chad
world.
Johnson then comes out and he goes, bro, this didn't happen for me. He said, this happened for you for real? Fred Taylor says, I played for the Jaguars. We were sorry. Nobody waited for us. I laughed so hard. Fred's like been married for like 20 years.
This is something that you honestly, on surface level, it's just
You
like,
don't
I don't
do
doubt
this.
it, but I don't doubt what he's saying is true. I don't doubt it. But at the same
it's
time,
not as
there's certain
rampant as he
things.
made it out to be, by the way.
Oh, of course. But there's certain things
Derek
like.
and David Carr aren't out
Did
there
you
cheating
get
on their wives.
Did you get the sense in that podcast? He's like bragging about it.
Exactly.
It's like what. There's certain things you don't brag about, and that's one of them. Like what? Why is this one of the topics of conversation? Especially when the guys you're around and talking to this about are uncomfortable with the situation.
Now, here's what so remember what I said. I gotta read this. I'm sorry. This is a conversation. And again, you have to think about it. This is Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, Chad Johnson, and Brandon Marshall on a podcast. I am an athlete. Okay. Now, I already told you where we go. I'm gonna get back to where I finished. Fred Taylor's like, man, I played football for the Jaguars. we were sorry. Nobody waited for us. Said it very quickly and very defensive. And then Crowder comes on and goes, man, I played for the Dolphins. They were terrible. But I could always just go downstairs, sit by the bar, and someone was always smiling. Or they'd have them sent up to my room. Brandon Marshall says, I'm cutting this conversation off now. And then Channing Crowder goes, when you walked in the visiting team hotel, you saw fans lined up behind the little ropes, and behind them were another row of people. Behind that second row were girls sitting back there with skirts on. I would sprint upstairs to get my bag in the room, and I would sprint right back downstairs to make sure I talked to all the girls in skirts. NFL fans thought it was, of course, hilarious. The football players that actually play in Nashville have come out and chastised the hell out of him. I think it was very scuzzy, but it also makes him, like, I don't know. He thinks that makes him sound good.
That's what I'm saying. Again, like he's bragging about something that is
like
just
you
like
don't cheat on your wife. Huh? Be
it's
honest
nothing
with you.
to brag about.
You don't
like,
get married if you're going to cheat, bro. I mean,
but again,
don't
like,
get married.
I just don't get like if it's something you're admitting in like a, I don't know, like an open forum about that, and you're trying to have a conversation about like cheat. But you don't just go onto a random podcast and brag about something that's not worth bragging about.
By the way,
you don't.
There's one thing in the back that I love how it says background audible. Fred Taylor said, damn it, man, my wife better not be listening to this. Like, shut up, dude.
And it's literally like you, even if you're indicting every NFL player when you say something in a generalized statement like that.
When you say something like that generally, yeah, exactly. That's the perfect. You just said it perfectly. I can't say it any better. I'm going to leave it at that because that's exactly what he did. It was an indictment on every single professional athlete, honestly, not just football players. So I think that stinks. Now, another thing is I got to tell you, that stinks really bad. I'm a baseball junkie, and I'm going to break because Alex Coon's joining us next. But I got a video I'm about to tweet out. Tell me how drunk this umpire is. Drunkest fool ever to go to a game. Dude drops his face mask, can't keep his things on, squats over, falls backwards, squats over, falls on the kid, stands up, falls all the way back to the fence. And then he was ringing up a kid and he goes, strike! And he looked at his thing, 2.
Check him out at Johnny_radio on Twitter. He'll tweet it out for you.
We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Memphis Tiger fans, catch the Blue and Gray Show with John Stacey and Drew Barrett Sunday nights from 5 till 7. Right here on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Hey everybody, I'm out here at Olive Branch looking at all these new Silverados at All Star Chevrolet. And guess what? It's Trucktober. And nobody has more new Silverado trucks than right here at All Star Chevrolet. And I'm seeing them right now. Look at this. You can get the Trucktober thousands in cash off price. Up to $5,000 in cash back. Holidays are coming. In fact, they're already here. All Star Chevy has all these new 2020 Chevy SUVs and trucks with cash back deals in the thousands. New 3-row Traverse, new Equinox, Impala, or Malibu, all come with thousands in Chevy cash back for you. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not Covington Pike, not Collierville or South Haven. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. And the certified pre-owned lot is full. Impalas, Malibus, Tahoes, and Suburbans. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one job, to make sure you have more fun, get the best deal, and in record time. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy on Kraft Goodman Road or online at allstarautogroup.com. Beat any dealer's ad price any day at All-Star Chevrolet. Best financing for everyone.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Are you shopping for a new watch, an engagement ring, any kind of jewelry at all? What's up, Memphis? This is Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, encouraging you all to shop where I shop, Platinum Jewelers here in Memphis. Platinum Jewelers has a big selection of earrings, stockable rings, luxury watches, necklaces, bracelets, really whatever you need. They do custom jewelry and have 2 locations in the area. One is 545 Perkins Extended in East Memphis. The other is 9387 Poplar next to Fresh Market in Germantown. So if you need anything jewelry related, go to my spot, Platinum Jewelers.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Good news. Southland Casino is now back open. That's right. The most spacious casino floor in the Mid-South is ready to welcome you back to the action with live blackjack, roulette, craps, and all your favorite slots. The action kicks off every day at 9 a.m. and rolls all the way till 5 o'clock the next morning. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make the short drive to Southland. We're ready for you. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the
Whistle of the evening train. By the way, I just got to say, I did a very mini Hardenwood today. But if you're familiar with Memphis Radio, y'all remember that segment back in the day where they did Dumbass of the Day? Do you remember that?
No.
Well, it was a good segment. I think it was, it was Drake and Zeke back in the day used to do it. And I'll have to say, Channing Crowder would have won that even for Memphis. Because every man in the world knows you don't say that, you don't do that, and then you definitely don't look for support from that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me also throw like 7 other people under the bus and cast.
It's like he wanted
every athlete.
He wanted all 3 of the other guys with him to be like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that's
It's like these
great.
guys are married. Like they don't want to. They don't want to
Dude.
indict themselves.
It's insanity. By the way, somebody did text, who did Paramount Sports pick to win the Ole Miss Arkansas game? He did not pick that one. You can check him out, though, at ParamountSports.com or 800-400-9741. Now, this is very, very, very important. Now, I need all of y'all to do me a huge favor. Sit back and relax. We're going to get into a little bit of discussion with Alex and Gabe Kuhn. Y'all know Alex. He joins us every single Friday. He's not just a journalist, somebody from the Midwest and does radio and all those wonderful things. He's also the brother of Gabe Kuhn. And I'm just going to send it on over to Gabe Kuhn.
Hey, what's
because
happening now? First
I
of
would
all,
never step
What's
into a
happening?
brother's quarrel.
It's
You good?
so much better. Yeah, my week is always made a little bit better by hearing John sing. That song
You don't.
leads into this
It's
segment.
back to Tennessee, Jed. Every time.
It's just, how can you listen to that and not feel uplifted?
Thank you. I'm vibing. I'm like 420 Dogface.
John is by far the most animated host we have at Sports 56 coming back from the break. Like, there's no question. Like, always sings, bobbing his head.
Sure.
He has the best bumper music, though, too. No offense to any of the other shows, but, like, I mean, it's just consistently the best. Just
It's not called
like
the happy
that.
hour for nothing.
That's right.
Yeah,
That is right, Mr. Coons.
All right, let's get into it because John and I saw this tweet and I came back at you, okay? But I don't want to misquote you. But we're gonna start here. You said on Twitter, this is what you said. If we're looking at Justin Herbert as a new prototype of NFL quarterback, which he's done well, how long until we start having the Felipe Franks discussion? Obviously, Felipe Franks at Arkansas after a couple years in Florida after the injury where Kyle Trask ended up taking the helm. I want you to make your case for this because I saw you got dragged pretty good on Twitter. I disagree to a certain extent. I think Felipe Franks has some NFL draft capability, but not as high as Justin Herbert. Explain your case here.
Well, first off, I don't think that Justin Herbert's a prototype NFL quarterback. I think he's had a few good games, and a lot of people are overreacting. I still have a lot of questions about him, but to me, I saw Justin Herbert play at Oregon, and I saw a lot of mediocre tape, and I saw a lot of projecting because he was 6'6", 235 pounds, and people made excuses for him about the situation he was in, and this, and
which
that.
is valid. The situation he is in is valid. Let's just make that
But
clear.
then I
Because hold up, I'm going to cut you off here because the situation he's in is very valid. Because you're talking about Felipe Franks, who
But
had
it's
Dan
not
Mullen,
about-
who
It's wait, well, time out. He played 2 games with Dan Mullen and broke his leg.
what are you talking about?
He played 2
He played
games
a full
with
year
Dan
with Dan
Mullen
Mullen.
and broke his
He played
leg.
a full year with Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen got
He
there in
was a-
2018.
He played 2 games.
He
his
played-
final year at Florida and broke his leg.
That
He
was last
completing
year. He
70
played 1 full year with Dan
He was
Mullen.
playing 76% of his passes, and now he's at Arkansas.
Dude,
and another taking over.
He played a full
taking
year
over-
with Dan Mullen.
Taking over the worst situation in college football and rejuvenating an entire program. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you look at Dan Mullen's offense, and yeah, there's a Kyle Trask has been better. Tim Tebow was a better fit in that system than Cam Newton. He had Nick Fitzgerald. He likes the game manager instead of the big arm guy. But if this guy comes back from injury and starts balling and puts Arkansas, which was by far the worst Power 5 program in the country, back on the map, he's going to be drafted in the first 2 days.
Okay,
He's going to be a lock.
Now, a lot to break
He's
down.
going to be a lock.
A lot to break down there. 2 games. We're talking about 2 games, 6 TDs, 0 interceptions. I think Felipe's done great. I think, John, you'd agree with that as well over the past 2 games.
I think Sam Pittman's probably coach of the year right
But
now.
again, we have to talk about situation, first of all, and not to mention the numbers are skewing directly toward Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert in his career, had a 153.1 passer rate, 95 TDs to 23 interceptions. Hold up. Let me finish. Let me finish. No, this is not how this works. No, this is not how this works. Because Dan Mullen had Alex Smith. He had Josh Harris at Bowling Green, who was very successful. He had Chris Leak. He had Tim Tebow. He had Dak Prescott. He had Nick Fitzgerald playing well, who no one else could get out of him, right? So now you look at Dan Mullen's system and you compare that to who Justin Herbert had. He had Willie Taggart. He had Marcus Arroyo, who I want to point out, he's the UNLV head coach now. Marcus Arroyo was the OC at Southern Miss with Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is a pro quarterback, right, John? Nick Mullins, he went 1-11 with Nick Mullins. He was the OC at Southern Miss. He's not a good coach. Situations, everything.
Hey, stop filibustering because you're saying things that are irrelevant.
They're not irrelevant at all.
Justin Herbert was the worst quarterback at Oregon in the 2010s. 4-8.
Oh, because Marcus Mariota was there.
Yeah, and Marcus Mariota, Darren Thomas. What was the guy's name that transferred from Eastern Washington? I can't think. Vernon Adams.
Oh, he's better than Vernon Adams. Come on now.
He was not successful at Oregon compared to the quarterbacks before him. He was not a winner at Oregon, and if you are at that level, you are seen as somebody that lifts your offense, and he wasn't. And he goes to a good situation in the NFL, and guess what? Daniel Jones threw for 300 yards 5 times in his rookie year. Okay? You trust Daniel Jones? Baker Mayfield was really good in his rookie year. Are you trusting Baker Mayfield right now? What I'm saying is you have to look beyond that, and if you're just looking at size and athleticism and all that, just like with Herbert, why not get Felipe Franks is going to be a first couple.
I think he'll get drafted. I do, but if we're putting him on the same, we're not putting him on the same platform as Herbert. John, I want you to chime in on this, man.
I will say this.
John wants me to. He just wants me to yell the whole time.
Gentlemen, this is funny. I will say that if you put these two guys in a uniform, they're both 6'6", around 230,
and they're athletic.
They look very good. They can throw the ball a country mile.
Yep. Wasn't Jake Locker drafted in the first round?
He was.
Yes.
Wait, wasn't Christian Ponder drafted in the first round?
He was.
Josh Freeman drafted in the first round?
Dude, don't forget.
Yeah, sure was.
Okay, good.
You're acting like as if Felipe Franks didn't show you things that were not good while he was at Florida. Bad decision making with Dan Mullen as his quarterback. Dan Mullen should tell you all you need to know.
Justin Herbert against worse competition
with no coach and no. What are you talking about? He was awful.
He was awful.
How can you even say that?
Hey, flip on the Cal tape. Okay, I can.
EJ Manuel.
I just know this.
Manuel is probably the first.
I just know this. If you do a statistical comparison, it's not even close. And you keep talking about this bad tape, okay? They didn't let him do anything at Oregon. They didn't let him do anything.
They didn't let.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Anybody would tell you that. Again, anybody would tell you that watches the Pac-12.
It wasn't him throwing bad interceptions against Cal or Arizona State last
year. The most interceptions he threw in a year was 8. The most he threw in a year was 8. 95 and 23 while he was there. 95 and 23. 95 and 23.
What happened?
95 and 23. Come on, dude. This is ridiculous.
What happened to Gabe, what happened at Arizona State? They win that game. They win the national championship, or they go to the Final Four. He lost them the game. He ruined their season. He was terrible.
He ruined their season.
He also ruined Tyrod Taylor's life.
Golly,
or was that the doctor?
That was the doctor, most certainly. But man, I'm moving on from this. All right, I think that we can give Felipe Franks. No, hold up, real quick. We can give Felipe. No, I'm trying to.
I'm not going to hold up. I'm not going to hold
Why?
up. Filibustering.
No, I was talking and you interrupted me. What is it? Golly, Felipe Franks is doing well. Felipe Franks is doing well through his 2 games at Arkansas, but we're not about to put him on the exact same level as a Justin Herbert style prospect because of 2 games. Because of 2 games.
Herbert is a second or third round pick, which is where I have Felipe Franks right now.
All right, Mike Mayock. Jeez. But anyways, we got to move on, man.
I can't even breathe. I'm crying over you. Now, Alex, I have honestly a question about you about a little something else, and it does have to do with college football. I'm curious though, what are you hearing about how the Big Ten is going? Are they going to be able to get the below 5%? Is this season going to be able to go are they going to be successful with launching this thing off even though it's late? Because I'm hearing about this week down here in the South. We're right now hearing about this second wave. That's kind of like the news. Like if you pull up your phone and go to Smart News or, the sports stuff, they're talking about, hunker down and get ready for a little second wave. Some games are going to be postponed. Are you worried about the Big Ten not being able to finish in time?
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I know that right now, I think the big second wave kind of hit in the South when in the middle of the summer we were talking about Texas and Florida and Georgia, and now we're starting to talk about the Midwest, and specifically the upper Midwest and Wisconsin and Michigan and Iowa and Ohio. And
yeah, they're having a tough time of it.
Yeah, it's the scary part. So I hope that they have enough of the resources that they say they're going to have to be able to get through the season. But you always got to keep it in the back of your mind if you're not in a bubble, you're not like the NBA or the NHL, that it's possible, and it's just the unfortunate circumstance of 2020. I hope, but at any moment it just takes one.
Hey, so we just got a call in now, and they say, Gabe, you and Alex, you guys sound violent right now. I was like, you should hear us like when we're not on the air.
Serena texts me.
You should hear us when we're not on the air.
Just breathe, because she didn't hear me. Thank you, dear.
See, he's got the powerful microphone, so he thinks he could just yell over the person.
No, but you cut me off. So I mean, that's like, yeah, you cut me off though. So
look at you.
We need a moderator. John, can you be a moderator? What do you think?
I don't know if I would be that good. Where's that little girl? What's her name? Samantha, and who did it last night? I didn't watch any of that.
Well, that was a town hall. That was town hall stuff, wasn't it?
I don't even know.
That was totally like the first debate.
Dude,
right
we
there.
had baseball and like 100 points scored in football. I was watching sports.
I watched Arch Manning last night.
Yeah,
too. Did you get to see
that
out?
Did you see Arch Manning, the 10th grader that's like 6'3"?
He's insane. He's good.
I haven't seen him play yet, but I see
oh my
that
goodness, he's good.
The football world is ablaze about him.
Obviously you would expect him to be good, no question. But like you can tell that Peyton and Eli and Archie have been in his ear because he moves through progressions. Like
he looks like
he's
a
senior
quarterback, and he's 16 years
old. Yes, he looks
old.
like he's a senior. He looks like he's a senior in college or about to be into his rookie year at the NFL as far as his progressions. It's insane. But real quick, before we get up out of here, I have to ask you, Memphis UCF, what do you think about it?
I don't know what to expect tomorrow because it's one of those games where I'm trying to figure out Memphis right now, and what is that running game, and can Brady White kind of find his magic again? Because I thought he lost it a little bit at the end of that SMU game. That fumble was really cost them the game. They weren't able to get the run game established in that second half, and who's going to step up and be the glue guy at receiver, to be that second target for Brady White? So when teams try to take away DeMonte Coxie, he has that other target to go to. Either way, it's going to be a close game. It's going to come right down to the wire. And Memphis, let's make no mistake about it, Memphis is trying to right the wrongs of some unfortunate late game situations against UCF. They've had 3 in a row. They've had 3 in a row where they felt like they should have won the game and they didn't win the game, and they're going to have another opportunity to get over the hump.
I hope Mike McIntyre's defense is the difference in this one. I think it can be, because I think Brady and Dylan Gabriel, there's a wash there. I think the offense are about a wash. I think it's going to be up to the defense, and I think Mike could be the person that simplifies this defense enough but confuses enough Central Florida that everybody's covering their assignment, keeping everything in front of you, and not giving up 582 yards a game and like 6 touchdowns.
My hope is that we look at last year, like Brady White, and I mentioned this earlier in the show to John. Brady White against Temple last year, I think the Temple game and the SMU game of this year are very similar in the fact where he made mistakes that ended up costing the Tigers, especially in the late game. And then the next game after Temple last year was Tulane, and he came out firing. That was really one of his better games of the year. You just sort of hope he can have that bounce back against UCF, because UCF is sort of decimated in the secondary. Tay Gowan was a guy that ended up opting out. They have some injuries. We just talked to Lee Sterling about how decimated they are on that side of the ball. My hope is that Brady White can come out and right his wrongs from the SMU game.
As much as people look at that SMU game and we're talking about them not being able to get the job done, everything was stacked against them. They had 3 weeks off. They were dealing with COVID. They were dealing with the fact that they were having to go on the road. They got off to a slow start. They battled all the way back. Rodriguez Clark didn't play much in the second half. They weren't able to run the ball in the second half. And of course, they're playing without what probably could have been, what was going to be the conference player of the year in Kenny Gainwell. And yet they went into SMU and probably should have won that game. So they feel confident that they didn't play very well. Everything was stacked against them, and they still should have beaten what could be the best team, or at least one of the best teams in the conference. This time they're at home. Things have settled down. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, and hopefully there's a better effort out of the gate for the Tigers this week.
Listen to Alex Kuhn and give him a follow at Alex523. And don't forget KGMradio.com. Him and Todd rock and fire all the good stuff up there. Eastern Iowa is the home of their ESPN radio. He also joins me, Mr. Alex, that is, at 2:30. I got to let him go. He's got a show to do, plus tacos and a left-hand cigarette. It's Friday, baby.
That's it.
That's my friend Alex Kuhn, Gabe's brother. We'll be back in 2 shakes. I got to tell you about one thing that I saw from Arch last night that I don't think a lot of people are going to believe. And it's also sad that realizing the best I've ever been in my life, I think he's 15 or 16 years old. He can already play the game better than I could at the best. And like heck, I think if I did steroids, I wouldn't have been good as that kid. He is a madman. Check him out. We'll talk about that on the other side. This is Sports 56, 98.5. And never forget, MemphisFarmers.com, 96.1 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Family Leisure's done it again. We're talking about the world's biggest spa sale. Up to 30% off on spas and swim spas. Choose from hundreds of different spas from multiple manufacturers. There is special financing available, and if you are in the market, special pricing now as summer starts to dwindle on chemicals and accessories. Always professional delivery available. The spas are going crazy at Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road.
For the ones working tirelessly to keep their coworkers safe. For the ones rising to new challenges. For the ones rebuilding stronger than before. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, and 24/7 support. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you thought about the holidays yet? Our friends at Window Genie not only clean windows, gutters, and concrete, they also hang holiday lights. Window Genie has a Christmas light rental program that includes custom design, installation, maintenance, takedown, and storage for your home or office. The best part, they're offering 15% off if you book by November 1st. Spend more time with friends and family this year and less time on the ladder. Call today for a free estimate, 901-424-4100. Window Genie, 901-424-4100.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Let's go! On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy ghosts and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. You see a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs Jackson when you got words?
Welcome into the last segment of the week. That's right, for Johnny Radio and my man Gabe Kuhn. We're about to pass this bad boy off to Wolo and Stats. They're going to drive you home from 3 to 6 on a little sports time, and it's going to be beautiful. I bet they talk a little about Arch Manning. I watched a little bit of that, a lot of baseball. I watched the football game last night, the Score Fest. But I will tell you, I've never been that impressed with a 16-year-old young man. The kid looks like he can play college football now. He made a Patrick Mahomes-esque throw going out to the right, throwing it all the way across his body, no look to the left for a touchdown. But one of the most impressive throws that I saw the whole night, I don't know if it's probably getting as much love, but he drops back and he's got 3 receivers to the right. And he's looking, and then all of a sudden he looks all the way back to the left, took the safety way off, and the guy's just over here in the corner of the end zone, 35 yards away, and he doesn't lay it up. He throws a dead gum BB. And he gets there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Touchdown. Arch is the real deal. Watch out for this young fella.
The one thing I noticed, I watch a little bit.
Dude, he's progressing. He's
quarterback
16 years
tape.
old, and
I've
he's
seen
reading.
it in the past. I know how my high school quarterback was, but him going through his progressions it's pro-like. It really is.
It is ridiculous. You don't see. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen a sophomore be able to read a defense like that. I mean, he's walking up. He knows where the Mike linebackers. He can tell if you're in a 4-3, cover 2. If they're in a 3-4, if they're going to cover 3, cover 0, whatever. Dude, he's coming up there calling everything. If they check, he's checking. And then he just has a hose.
And it's going to be a problem if he gets his athleticism from Cooper. Dude,
obviously a wide receiver. By the way, did you see him running last night? He was already better running at Peyton.
You can't tell it in high school.
In high school, you're right. What I'm just saying is I did watch some tape of Eli running. Eli couldn't run. I mean, not Eli. I'm sorry. Peyton could not run. Eli could actually run a little bit. Eli, he's better athlete already than Peyton. But, dude, he has a hose like his family, but he doesn't throw a duck like his uncle. Peyton, man. Dude, I'm telling you, Arch is going to be bad to the bone. I think he's going to have the athleticism of his grandfather. He's going to have the brain of his, Uncle Peyton. And he might be cool, calm, and collected like Eli. Who knows, man? This thing's pretty dank. I got him up there already in the Hall of Fame, don't I? Well, today also I want to remind you, 507 Astros Rays. Dude, Mr. Fambrel, Valdez, Blake Snell, Astros, can they extend this again? Rays better hope not. Tonight they better close it out. You don't win a Game 7. And then Dodgers and Braves. Are the Braves going to close it? Yes. Clayton Kershaw continues to struggle, but it's time for me to get out there. Make the world a better place, y'all. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace!
Hi, this is Troy